Hey everybody, I recently finished Ben Franklin's autobiography and thought I'd share some nuggets from the book. It's only 112 pages and it's unfinished. It actually cuts off mid-sentence on the last page. I don't know if you can see this that well, but it actually says unfinished right there on the last page. I should warn you that if you're someone who's not interested in reading books that are of that older style of English, and this is 18th century English, then it may not be that fun to read for you. But for me, and I'm kind of the same way. I don't really enjoy reading books that old. They're a little hard for me to understand. But I was interested in Ben Franklin and kind of wanted to get his perspective on life, so I just pushed through it anyway. So the first thing I want to talk about is that Franklin was a fan of the Socratic Method. He says, "I was charmed with it, adopted it, dropped my abrupt contradiction and positive argumentation, and put on the humble inquirer and doubter." He made a point to always have productive and non-confrontational conversations with people. And he actually noted that by asking so many questions in conversation, whether it be just a civil debate or whatnot, he found that by asking questions, the person he was debating often contradicted their own arguments after Franklin pressed and just kept asking questions. He did say later in life that he kind of drifted away from the Socratic method, but I never got the sense that he ever had any fiery debates with people. The second thing that I thought was interesting in the book is that there was a time in his life where he tried to achieve moral perfection. Now, he says in the book that he tried to imitate people like Jesus and Socrates. And in order to do this, he actually created 13 virtues that he thought he could abide by. He created a journal to track how well he was doing in adhering to these 13 virtues. So he created 7 columns, one for every day of the week, and then he created 13 rows for every virtue and tracked his progress. He focused on just one virtue, I believe it was per week, and he set up the ladder of 13 virtues in a way that if you achieve the first one, it's easier for you to achieve the second one, and the third one, and so on and so forth. Now, the next concept I took from the book is that one thing he observed in his day about politicians and government was that, and this is something that I think is quite applicable today, he thought and believed that those who govern, quote, do not generally like to take the trouble of considering and carrying into execution new projects. The best public measures are therefore seldom adopted from previous wisdom, but forced by the occasion, end quote. So I guess politicians haven't been the best of planners for at least 250 years. Now, before I get to the final lesson of the book, please destroy that like button and definitely leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the lessons I've gone over so far from Ben Franklin's autobiography. And please subscribe to my channel for more content. The final point I want to mention from the book comes from his observations of being a business owner. So he says, quote, "When men are employed, their morale is high when they put in a good day's work. But on days when they didn't put in much work, their behavior turned sour, and they were much less pleasurable to be around," end quote. So if you're a business owner, maybe the lesson here is to keep your employees busy. And if you're an employee, find something to do. It may just improve your morale. So if you're interested in reading the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, I encourage you to check it out. It's only $7 on Amazon, so it's pretty cheap, and you might learn something. So check it out, and take care, everybody.